Here's a little sneak peek of what we are making today. Hello everyone, welcome back to Flower Club. We have a really lovely selection of flowers this week. Lots of texture, cool color, and a new foliage. So let's go ahead and introduce those. Today we have Pincushions, one of my favorites, Leucadendrons, and Scotch Broom. Really cool, very tall. It's gonna really be a showstopper this week. Excited to start, let's do it. So I'm going to be using just a tall ceramic vase to handle all of the height that we're going to be using today. Start with our pincushions. These are pincushions. They're part of the protea family, native to South Africa, and they get their name, you can probably tell, by these little, they're called styles that stick out of the head of the flower that look just like a pincushion. So we'll get cracking with just prepping, stripping all of the leaves. Simple. And these come in a few colors. They come in red, orange, and you can get yellow ones as well. So they almost look like a match, like a flame. They're one of my favorites for sure. And the foliage comes off nice and easy, so that's a bonus. This one's going to be a very unstructured, free-flowing design. So not as much structure as last week, and not as technical with our wiring, which I hope you had fun doing. I hope that was a fun new thing that you've learned. So with our Leucadendrons, also native to South Africa, these ones we are just going to be stripping off the lower foliage, and I'm going to keep these little guys on because they'll create nice bushiness in the center. They might come with, you know, a bit of a funny situation going on where we're going off here. So I'm going to take off this. It has a few too many noduley bits on it that are just going to get caught on everything else in the vase and make your life a little bit more difficult. Okay, this one's nice and thick. I like to sometimes keep some options rather than separating them all out at the start and taking all of these apart. Maybe I want to keep it together. I'm not sure yet, but I'll just prep it so it has a clean stem. There you go. Now this is called Scotch Broom, and it's native to British Isles. So I was at the market and I saw this beautiful broom foliage and I just couldn't resist. I thought it was so interesting, something we haven't used before in Flower Club. So I thought it might be a fun one to bring into the mix. It comes kind of with big, long, thicker stems and then lots of these little fine stems coming off the sides. From the main stem, I'll separate out the lower stems that still have flowers on them so that we can still use them, but just remove all of their lower leaves and foliage. So the broom will dry really well, as well as the pincushions and the leucadendrons as well. So this will be a very long-lasting design for you. All of the little blooms will eventually drop off as expected, but then the actual stems itself will kind of dry really nicely. Just keep on removing all those lower leaves so nothing's in the water, and then you'll probably come across, you know, a couple of big sturdy pieces. They'll kind of be our starters. Sorry if you can't see me. I might just keep these two stems together just for now. Like with the leucadendrons, maybe I want to keep them together because if they're still together, they might help me create a bit more structure in the vase, a little bit more of a gridding within the vase, so that everything else can slide through and be nice and sturdy and not flop around anywhere. All right, cool. So I've done all of my prep. Everything's ready to go, and got my vase, filled it with water. We won't do any taping or anything this time because we have some nice hardy woody stems that will be able to create that structure in the bottom of the vase. We're going to start as we normally would, kind of holding the stem against it. You can kind of test it out and see how tall it is to start off. It's not too bad. I might just take it down a fraction. Don't worry if things just start flopping all over the place. Once we add our other flowers, they'll start to get some structure. So I'm just going to peek in through here. I'm going to do this one 360. So it's going to be like a bouquet kind of style in the vase. So it's a good one for a dining table where you can see it from all angles, or on your kitchen bench, something like that. So just start with laying out our structure. I'm getting hit in the face many, many, many times, but that's okay. That's okay. Got to do what you got to do. Put some tall pieces in the middle and then start structuring in these smaller pieces kind of at the front and around the sides. And then as we are putting our flowers in, we're just going to be turning the vase. I always keep a few pieces of our foliage just on the side, just for finishing touches, always handy. I'm going to start with our leucadendrons. I'm going to get this really kind of bushy piece and start with that. Place it in the center. And as I go, I'm going to keep the leucadendrons pretty long, but obviously give them a fresh trim before they go in the vase. Turning. And so as you can see, now that I've added in a few of my leucadendrons, the broom is starting to find its place, find its home. The grid is kind of happening, and so it's not hitting me in the face and being horizontal as it was. So I'm just spinning and placing. The good thing about this design, it's very instinctual. You can kind of just start placing, pull things out, put them back in. It's a really great way just to start your design, is just place your foliage and then your filler, and then you can start tweaking as you go. So I've just popped out this piece that I was talking about earlier. As I didn't know whether I wanted to keep it whole or not. I'm going to maybe take it down just a little bit and create some smaller pieces out of this one. So just like that, I've just kind of kept one bushy piece with a long stem, and then I've created myself a little extra piece. And I'm creating two sections of the vase with the leucadendron. And what I mean by the two sections is there's kind of one over here, a really kind of big pop. And then if I spin the vase, there's another section on the other side. Now that our loops are in there, like we said before, the structure is there and they're going to stay. They're not going to move. So the general rule of thumb for the ratio of vase to flowers is 1.5 times the vase is how tall the flower should be. So let's say if this broom is where it should be. So we get 1. Right, we got 1, 2. These little friends, they're okay. So that's kind of the rule of thumb, is however tall your vase is, 1.5 times. And that also helps you pick your vase when you've purchased your flowers. If you've purchased something really, really tall, you can find a vase that fits correctly based on that kind of calculation. So we are going to go in with our pincushions. These will be our focal, and they're just going to be a really amazing pop of color and texture throughout this gorgeous arrangement. My leucadendrons are in, my broom is in for the most part, got a few stems left over, and now our pincushions. And these will just start to thread them in and see where I'm wanting them to go. And with your pincushions, a good way to find their home is just to hold them up in the vase in different places and see what resonates. A good way to do it would be in 3s like this, creating a nice line throughout the vase like this. You can group them like this. Few different ways to do it. The way I'm going to do it, I haven't decided yet. Decided I want one a little bit shorter, just to fill the center of the vase a little bit bushier. And they're pretty easy to get out. If you just twist, 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 they'll kind of unhook from anything that they're latched onto and they'll pop out. So for my pincushions, I'm just going to place them nestled into all of the foliage and the leucadendron. And I'm just going to spin the vase as I go.